halala sanibongela.
Oh halala, halala sanibongela, halala, halala sanibongela we.
Halala, halala sanibongela, halala, halala sanibongela.
Sanibona ma-Afrika, sanibona ma-Afrika mahle, sanibona ma-Afrika, sanibona ma-Afrika mahle.
Sanibona, sanibona ma-Afrika mahle, sanibona ma-Afrika, sanibona ma-Afrika mahle.
Sanibona ma-Afrika, sanibona ma-Afrika mahle, sanibona ma-Afrika, sanibona ma-Afrika mahle.
Sanibona, sanibona ma-Afrika mahle, sanibona ma-Afrika, sanibona ma-Afrika mahle.
Ithi nje diye mntwana,
Ithi nje diye mntwana,
ithi nje diye mntwana,
ithi nje diye mntwana.
Onamangazi,
Namangazi,
uthi ubani obhalele incwadi.
ithi nje diye mntwana,
Ithi nje diye mntwana,
ithi nje diye mntwana,
ithi nje diye mntwana,
ithi nje diye mntwana.
Onamangazi,
Namangazi, uthi ubani obhalele incwadi. Ithi nje diye mntwana.
Oh halala, halala sanibongela, halala, halala sanibongela we.
Halala, halala sanibongela, halala, halala sanibongela.
Oh halala, halala sanibongela, halala, halala sanibongela we.
Halala, halala sanibongela, halala, halala sanibongela.
Oh halala, halala sanibongela, halala, halala sanibongela we.
Halala, halala sanibongela, halala, halala sanibongela.
Sanibona ma-Afrika, sanibona ma-Afrika mahle, sanibona ma-Afrika, sanibona ma-Afrika mahle.
Sanibona, sanibona ma-Afrika mahle, sanibona ma-Afrika, sanibona ma-Afrika mahle.
Sanibona ma-Afrika, sanibona ma-Afrika mahle, sanibona ma-Afrika, sanibona ma-Afrika mahle.
Sanibona, sanibona ma-Afrika mahle, sanibona ma-Afrika, sanibona ma-Afrika mahle.
Ithi nje diye mntwana,
Ithi nje diye mntwana,
ithi nje diye mntwana,
ithi nje diye mntwana.
Onamangazi,
Namangazi,
uthi ubani obhalele incwadi.
ithi nje diye mntwana,
Ithi nje diye mntwana,
ithi nje diye mntwana,
ithi nje diye mntwana,
ithi nje diye mntwana.
Onamangazi,
Namangazi, uthi ubani obhalele incwadi. Ithi nje diye mntwana.
We'll try again. Good morning. Again, I'm Kelly Green Khan, a current parent of 2 St. Andrews students, and I will be serving as your moderator along with Kirsten Peterson from the St. Andrews Communications Office. So please feel free to put in Q&A if you have any technical questions. But thank you for joining us on this beautiful day to learn more about our valued connection to the Bokamoso Life Center. Because we're going to cover a lot of ground in the next hour, I ask that you post questions or comments in the chat or the Q&A, and we'll try to get to as many of your questions as possible at the end of the program and time permitting. So let's get started. I am honored to introduce the St. Andrews Head of School, Robert Kosaski, who has capably led our community for more than 2 decades. Robert has accomplished all of this while strengthening the St. Andrews commitment to know and inspire each and every child, and to encourage their role as global citizens. Robert, welcome to today's breakfast.
Thank you so much, Kelly, and welcome members of the St. Andrews community and friends to this virtual Bokamoso Breakfast. I'm aware that for many newer members of the St. Andrews community, Bokamoso may be new to you. For many of us, it's been part of our lives for years and in fact, decades. This is my 21st year as head of St. Andrews, and I'm proud to say that Bokamoso predates me. It has been part of our community for 22 years now. And the youth that have visited us and stayed in our homes and been on campus with us have brought not only incredible music and talent, but joy and light and character to our community. And in return, the decades of our St. Andrews students who have visited Bokamoso in South Africa have had transformative and joyful and deeply impactful experiences and lifelong relationships that have formed from that. So today you will learn more about Bokamoso. I want you to know that as an institution, St. Andrews supports Bokamoso through our Lions Fund giving programs and many other efforts. And I also want to thank the Bokamoso Youth Foundation, the center and its staff and its leaders who you will meet today, and to say how proud I am not only to be affiliated with Bokamoso, but to see the growth of Bokamoso from an idea to a program today that includes preparation for college and career and itself transforms lives. So with that, I'll hand it back to Kelly and welcome and enjoy today's breakfast.
Robert, thank you so much for your ongoing support of this partnership and also for sharing this time with us this morning. We know how busy you are. Next, we have Jim Cawley. Jim is a parent of a St. Andrews class of 96 alum. He has been involved with Bokamoso since 2002 and joined the foundation board in 2011, where he currently serves as its vice president. Jim has traveled to Winterveld, South Africa annually since 2012, often staying for 4 to 5 weeks at the center. Jim continues to be captivated by the energy, joy, spirit, and hope for the future that lives within the Bokamoso youth. Jim will highlight the important role of the Bokamoso Foundation in this collaboration. Jim?
Thanks, Kelly. Sani Bonani. This is one way of greeting people in South Africa. I'd like to follow on Robert's words and thank him for the amazing support that Bokamoso has received from St. Andrews throughout the years. It's been a real pleasure partnering with St. Andrews in this endeavor. And how did this partnership begin? Early in the late 1990s, Roy Barber, a music and drama teacher at St. Andrews, traveled to Winterveld community through friends at Seeker's Church. Roy was moved by the way that Bokamoso used music, drama, poetry to reach the young people of Winterveld and to help them deal with the challenges of growing up in a rural township. In 2002, Roy brought the first group of Bokamoso students to the US and introduced them to St. Andrews. Thus began the 22-year partnership between Bokamoso and St. Andrews School. St. Andrews and Bokamoso have been working together since to raise awareness of the challenges that the young people in Winterveld face and to widen the circle of support here in the DMV, in the Washington metropolitan area. Now the partnership continues. Each January through 2020, students from Bokamoso came to the United States. They live with St. Andrews families for 4 weeks and attend classes at St. Andrews. In addition, the Bokamoso students put on various performances at venues in the DC area. The Bokamoso students help American families, students, and teachers understand South African culture and bring alive the concept of Ubuntu through drama, music, poetry, and storytelling. Ubuntu is a South African social cultural concept that simply means I am because you are. Through contact with St. Andrews, the Bokamoso students gained some insight into the importance of their education, which in turn is a building block for their success once they return to South Africa. The cultural exchange component is a two-way street. For many years, St. Andrews students during spring break have traveled to South Africa, attending Bokamoso, interacting with the community, and learning firsthand about South Africa and its culture. And now we're going to take a virtual tour of Winterveld.
Oh halala, halala siyanibongela, oh halala, halala siyanibongela we.
Halala siyanibongela.
Bokamoso, a youth center based in Winterveld. Winterveld is a densely populated rural township with a population of more than 150,000 people, 70% being the youth. The nearest city is Pretoria, situated 40 kilometers away. On a daily basis, most people travel from Winterveld to Pretoria, seeking job opportunities. The youth is subjected to the same fate to access tertiary institutions. Those who can't afford education come to Bokamoso, seeking opportunities. Winterveld has many social challenges such as drug abuse, crime, teenage pregnancy, and HIV/AIDS. These are exacerbated by high rates of unemployment. Most businesses in Winterveld fall within the informal sector, relying mostly on local clinics, schools, police stations, and municipal offices. This is a story of many young people from Winterveld who come to Bokamoso for a brighter future.
Sanbona Africa mahle, sanbona Africa mahle.
Sanbona Africa mahle, sanbona Africa.
And now that we've walked into the gates of the Bokamoso Life Center, I want to take you live to Winterveld, South Africa, and introduce you to Steve Baloy. He's the program director at the Bokamoso Life Center. He's going to talk a bit about the program and introduce us to one of the students. Welcome, Steve.
Thank you, Bro Jim. Hi, everyone. My name is Steve Baloy, and I work as a program coordinator here at Bokamoso Life Center. And part of my responsibility is to ensure that Bokamoso as an NGO is sustainable and that it addresses the needs and challenges of the youth here in Winterveld. So here at Bokamoso Life Center, we have various programs that we have to assist the youth. But our main program is called the YDP, which stands for Youth Development Program. And under YDP, we have computer literacy, because nowadays technology is changing and there's more demand in terms of computer literacy skills. So here at Bokamoso, we have a computer life center, which is, we have a computer center, which is the one that I'm sitting in right now. And the youth can learn computer skills in here and develop their own computer skills. And we also have music and drama, which we use to address the various challenges that we face here in Winterveld. And we also have sessions whereby the youth every morning, they gather in a group and We have discussions about the challenges that Winterfeld faces. So these sessions run almost each and every day. The youth can come there, be themselves, get to engage with one another, talk about their stories, talk about their backgrounds and the many social issues that they face here in Winterfeld. And we also have sports and recreation, which we use to inspire confidence, to inspire energy, and to also inspire a sense of self-awareness for the youth. And my other responsibility is to also make sure that Bokamoso as a program maintains its core mandates, which the first one is transformation. By transformation, I mean that we make sure that the youth develop psychologically, they develop economically, they develop spiritually, and that they also develop physically, that they become strong. And we also have community leadership. We ensure that after the program, at least our youth can become role models for other youth in Winterfeld. They can become change agents, and also that they are a little bit employable because of the skills, some of the skills that we give them. And we also have access to education. So Bokamoso has a scholarship program. Once youth are out of our program for a period of 8 months, they become assessed, and after the assessment, a youth can sort of be granted some form of scholarship, and then they can go to a tertiary or a college of their choice to pursue their studies. And also, I am a product of that scholarship program. Bokamoso has helped me personally to pursue my career of social work. And as I speak to you right now, I hold a bachelor's degree in social work thanks to the scholarship that Bokamoso has provided me with. So without wasting any further of time, I'm going to introduce you to one of our students to talk about her story. She's new here at Bokamoso, and she will tell you guys how she's finding Bokamoso to be. So thank you from my side.
Hi everyone, my name is Tutuzile Udisi and I live in Winterfeld. So I came here at Bokamoso Life Center this year because I heard they offer programs and they offer scholarship and there's a lot to learn here. So as Braskoch already mentioned, they offer YDP programs, they are computer literacy, and they are sessions that are offered here. There are also Fridays talent shows that we hold here at Bokamoso Life Center. So I was hoping they would help me with an application at maybe university or college, since I was struggling to apply for myself. Bokamoso Life Center is a very nice center to be in. I love it here. We learn a lot here. We do a lot of things here. I've learned to embrace myself in a different way. A lot of things I didn't know that now I've learned from Bokamoso Life Center. I think Bokamoso Life Center really helped the youth of Winterfeld and is still helping the youth of Winterfeld with many things, because most of us came here not knowing how to use a computer, but then we come here and learn how to use computers. We learn about programs, there are scholarships offered here. So there's a lot that we gain here at Bokamoso Life Center. Thank you.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Good day, sir. How are you today? We are fine, thank you. I am good. So, the task that we are going to do is a very simple one. We are going to write a letter to ourselves. Anything that you want to say to the self, you can write on that letter. How you view yourself, how you love yourself, how you appreciate yourself, how far you've come in life. So, does anybody have a question, or are you all okay with that? If you have a question, ask. If you don't have a question, we can begin writing. What's your question?
So do you have to write address?
No, you don't have to write an address. You are writing the letter to yourself.
I can even ask myself questions.
Yeah, you can. It's okay. You can ask yourself questions. If you are wondering about yourself, ask those questions. It's important. Think about it. When was the last time you wrote a letter to yourself?
Never. Yesterday.
When was the last time you told yourself that you love yourself? That you appreciate yourself? That you are this great, fine human being? When was the last time? So test yourselves today. Write something about yourself, something unique.
Good day, class. Good day. My name is Isam. My surname is Ifman. Dear myself and I'm writing this letter to myself as an introspection and inspiration. I'm so happy and amazed of the person I have become. And I appreciate the efforts and the new steps that I'm taking as a new journey in my life. I believe that there will be success at Bokamoso College. Since I haven't achieved my dream of going to varsity, but right now I can feel that I got a new opportunity to showcase the real me with all that I have. I'm so proud of myself because I don't give up easily. I always motivate myself in order to do good things for better tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you for that. We are truly grateful to have the team from South Africa speak with us today. We know it took a great deal of effort for you to join us, but we appreciate learning about the good work that's occurring at the center. And as we look through the videos and hear you speak, we are really looking forward to welcoming you back to the U.S. in the future. As Jim mentioned, a critical part of the St. Andrews Bokamoso partnership is the cultural exchanges that allowed St. Andrews students to visit the Bokamoso Life Center in South Africa over spring break, and the annual visits by Bokamoso Youth to the Washington, D.C. area, where they have significant opportunities to interact with our student body. During their time in the U.S., the Bokamoso Youth stay in the homes of host families. Jennifer Wank, a parent of a current St. Andrews student and alum, and a longtime planner of the Bokamoso brunches, will share the Wank family's treasured experiences as a host family. And I see Jennifer is joined by her lovely husband as well. Jennifer?
Thank you, Kelly. I'm Jennifer Wenk. This is my husband, Jonathan, and we are thrilled to be here today to share our experience as a host family for the Bokamoso Youth. So back in 2018, when my daughter was a freshman at St. Andrews, I saw the announcement for the brunch in the weekly newsletter. I didn't know anything about the Bokamoso Life Center or the exchange program, but it sounded interesting, and I dragged a reluctant family who would have preferred to stay in pajamas to the brunch. I was incredibly moved by the youth and the presentation, and really excited by the partnership between Bokamoso and St. Andrews. And I made a unilateral decision that we were going to be a host family the next year. So in January 2019, we welcomed Pusaletso to our home. She spent 5 weeks with our family, and it was a really incredible experience for all of us. Our family had the opportunity to see things that we very much take for granted from a different perspective. So this may have been the last significant snow our area got, but I think the day after she arrived, it snowed a couple of inches. And my kids showed Pusaletso how to bundle up in snow pants and a jacket and took her down to the sledding hill in our neighborhood. And she had never seen snow before and thought sledding was so much fun. Everyone had a great time. One weekend, we took her up to the Baltimore Aquarium. And, you know, for us, it's something that we've done a lot. We've taken our kids frequently, but Pusaletso was truly amazed at the aquarium and the sight of all the exotic marine life, and especially that part where you walk through the tunnel and see everything around you. She was just captivated. She took so many pictures to bring back and show her family. I think her favorite thing might have actually been the shopping trip to Target. She was amazed by Target. She couldn't believe the amount of food, clothing, shoes, bedding, everything in one place. But sharing our home with Pusaletso for a few weeks made us really grateful for the small luxuries that we enjoy every day, and let us see the amenities of this area from a fresh perspective. We were also able, by hosting, to gain an understanding of how the programs at the center help the youth dream of a better future and realize alternate possibilities for themselves. Pusaletso explained to us that her mother had worked her whole life as a maid, and Pusaletso dreamed of a different future for herself. She dreamed of getting a certification to become an electrician. She told us that before she came to the center, she was feeling very hopeless about her future, and someone suggested that she go to the center and check out the youth development program. She completed the 10-month program, and after that, she was eligible for a scholarship for post-secondary education. I think that the exchange program to the US and St. Andrews really encouraged Pusaletso to follow this dream. While she was here, she got some career coaching from people in her field. They did, I think, some mock interviews and resume development. She also went down to the George Washington, the GWU campus, and spent some days there with some college students, and came back really embracing that experience. So I think that the cultural exchange really helps to give the youth a different vision for the future they can have. We were so excited to host again this year, and we're very, very disappointed when the youth were denied their visas. So our fingers are crossed for next year. We are so grateful that St. Andrews supports this partnership and supports the exchange, and it has become something that we just love and value about the school, above and beyond the education they provide for our own children. Finally, we just want to say a few words about why we find it meaningful to donate to the Bokamoso Foundation. We know that when we donate, the money goes directly to the center and benefits the youth that you just saw in all of those videos. We also learned that a relatively small amount of money by our standards can make an enormous difference in South Africa. So a donation of just $25 can provide lunches for one youth for a month. A donation of $100 can provide school supplies for a full year. And a donation of $500 will pay for tuition for a semester of college or post-secondary education. So there's no obligation to donate. We hosted this program to provide information and try to strengthen the connection with the youth not being able to be here. But please know that if you do choose to donate, you are making a real difference and that your money is going directly to the center and the wonderful work they provide. I think there's a link posted in the chat. We have some fantastic items that are being raffled off. So again, no obligation, but please know that a donation makes a huge difference. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jennifer and John. Your experience and your leadership in our community and supporting Bokamoso should be praised, and hopefully we will follow in your footsteps as well as a community. Next, we will hear from a current student, Samina, who along with Camille created the slideshow that you viewed at the beginning of the program. Samina is a sophomore at St. Andrews, and this is her second year being involved with the Bokamoso Club. Samina?
Thank you for introducing me. So as she said, my name is Samina, and I'm going to talk a bit about why I joined the Bokamoso Club and what Bokamoso means to St. Andrews. So each year at St. Andrews, there's a club fair where students get to look at different clubs and sign up for them, some that sound interesting. So last year, my freshman year, I was walking around the club fair and I saw this table of like a big poster board and a brightly colored blanket on it, and I decided that looks cool. So I went over and just to see what it was, and I saw the Bokamoso Life Center was written across it. And as I was reading the poster board, I saw that St. Andrews has a partnership with the Bokamoso Center, and that you get to meet people who live in South Africa. And I just thought that sounded really cool. So I decided to sign up for it just to see how it was. Now I'm really glad I signed up for the club. It has been wonderful meeting the youth from Bokamoso. Although I've only been able to meet them online, over computers. It would be great if they are able to come in the coming years. It's been wonderful asking them questions about themselves, learning about their experience, watching them sing and dance. And I've also participating in events like this or at a chapel talk just to spread awareness to the community, and because many of them don't know about Bokamoso. So that's also very important. I think the partnership with Bokamoso is very valuable, and getting to experience a different culture and connect with people halfway across the world, I think is very cool. It's an exciting experiment. It's an exciting opportunity that I'm that I'm glad to be a part of. And yeah, that's really just why I joined the Bokamoso Club. So the next song that we're going to be hearing is from the Bokamoso group that was supposed to come this year. It is called Baba Sikalela I Africa, which translates to God Protect and Heal Africa.
Africa.
Thank you so much, Samina, for sharing that video with us. It was very moving. And as you mentioned, it is sung by a group of the youth who were not able to make it this year, some who may graduate from the program before they have the opportunity to engage in the cultural exchange in the US. So thank you for sharing that. And again, as Jennifer mentioned, our support is so important to give these young people opportunities. And Samina, again, thank you for all of your efforts to also educate the St. Andrews community about Bokamoso. We know we've had a large number of new families join our community, and they have not yet had that opportunity to meet the youth live and in person in DC. So thanks again. Our final speaker of the day is Ken Gunta, parent of 2 St. Andrews alumni. In addition to Ken's many volunteer leadership roles during his children's time at St. Andrews, Ken has also served as a Bokamoso host parent twice and has been a member of the Bokamoso Youth Foundation board since 2019. Ken?
Thank you, Kelly, and welcome everybody, and my apologies for my cold, so hopefully I'll make this through and you can understand the words I'm saying. But I'm Ken Genta, and I serve on the Bokamoso Youth Foundation board, and I was a St. Andrews parent twice, as Kelly mentioned. My son, Riley, graduated in 2013, and my daughter, Sydney, graduated in 2020. We were host parents twice to 2 Bokamoso youth during Sydney's time at St. Andrews. And Sydney traveled to South Africa in March 2018 during spring break on the South Africa exchange trip through St. Andrews. We fell in love with our Bokamoso daughters and are truly blessed that we remain in contact with them. Sydney fell in love with her experience in South Africa and is actually writing a paper currently in college about her experience there, proving that the Bokamoso experience never actually leaves you. We're blessed to be living in Greater Washington. Indeed, there's no shortage of excellent high schools, both public and private. There's a high school for every student who lives in this area. What set St. Andrews apart for us was not only the school culture, the academic rigor, and truly the best fit for our kids, but also its commitment to offer opportunities like Bokamoso to students to help them experience different cultures through travel and cultural exchange. These opportunities are a gift that St. Andrews gives our children, and it was a significant determining factor in our decision as a family to become part of the St. Andrews community. What led me to serve on the foundation board was my experience as a host parent. What you immediately realize as you, once you meet these extraordinary youth from Winterfeld, is that they're really not any different from our own kids. They all have the same life dreams and aspirations. The only difference that separates them from our kids is that many of the South Africa youth don't have the same access to the privileges and access to resources that our children have. That's a good lesson for our kids to learn too. The Bokamoso Life Center offers youth of Winterfeld opportunities to explore who they are, to develop the life skills that they need to identify and to pursue those goals, and the financial support to receive the education and training to achieve them. Our Bokamoso daughter, Betty, for example, received a scholarship and is now a thriving dental hygienist. She came to us from Winterfeld, where she lived with her grandmother and her 2 siblings, predominantly because her mother had to work in a platinum mine several days drive away from where she lived in Winterfeld. Her story is not atypical for Bokamoso. And what you should know is that since 1998, more than 1,300 students have graduated from the Center's Youth Development Program that Steve talked about. More than 270 Bokamoso youth have participated in the Cultural Exchange Program. And since 2008, Bokamoso has awarded more than 400 scholarships benefiting around 250 Winterfeld youth who otherwise would not have had a chance for post-secondary education or vocational training. Bokamoso graduates have gained employment in many professions, including nursing, education, filmmaking. In fact, several of the films that you've been watching were produced by a Bokamoso grad. Social work, law enforcement, and they've also started their own businesses and everything from chicken farming to fashion and graphic design. The Bokamoso Life Center walks the talk and has tangible positive outcomes. you can't ask for a better return on your investment. This is why our family continues to engage with and supports the Bokamoso Life Center, and why St. Andrews so generously commits, as Robert mentioned, 1% of the funds raised for the Lions Fund to the Life Center. I hope that you'll take the time to learn more about the Bokamoso partnership with St. Andrews, to engage with the program by becoming a host family, and will join us by making a donation to the Life Center that is so much of an integral part of our culture and history at St. Andrews Episcopal School. Thanks so much for joining us today. It is truly grateful for your being here. Thank you.
And thank you for sharing your family's rich connection to Bokamoso and for highlighting the impact of our relationship. It looks like we have time, I think, for a few questions. So please feel free to post them in the chat. And I will turn the mic over to Connie Sullivan, president of the Bokamoso Youth Foundation board, to address any questions that might come in.
Sure. Thank you, Kelly. And thank you everyone for coming this morning. As Kelly said, I'm Connie Sullivan. I'm the president of the Bokamoso Youth Foundation. I'm also St. Andrews alum parent, which is how I got involved with Bokamoso. 2008 and 2011 were my son's graduation dates. So I would like to thank a lot of people this morning, but I'll do it quickly. First, Robert, for bringing the time, spending time with us this morning, because I know his schedule is busy, and also for his longtime commitment to the center and the program and the youth. When they arrive at St. Andrews, he's incredibly supportive of the program and welcoming to everyone who comes. I'd like to thank Daphne Clybourne, who's not here this morning, who is our Bokamoso representative and assistant at St. Andrews, who helps us plan the trip. Runs the club. She's happily out on maternity leave and helped with a lot of the planning for this year's trip that didn't happen. And so we appreciate her time, as well as all the club members, and particularly Samina for being here, and Samina and Camille for making that lovely video that you saw in the beginning. I want to thank Kirsten for her wonderful technological moving everything around smoothly this morning. We wouldn't have been able to do this without her, and the communications team, and Adrian and the advancement team, and all the publicity that they put out and support that they gave us in planning this event this morning. I would also like to thank Kelly and Jen as our parent representatives, and all of the things that we were planning as the youth were coming, the brunch and other events, and then really being instrumental in putting this together, particularly organizing the raffle and donation page, which was a technological miracle, I think. But so thank you very much, both of you. And I'd like to thank the foundation members who were part of this as well this morning, and all of the foundation members. But so Jim Colley and Ken and Vanessa Prado, who wasn't a speaker this morning, but is both an active St. Andrews parent and also a Bokamoso board member. So, and thanks to everyone who attended and everyone who's supporting us this morning. I'm going to add that the raffle goes on till the end of the day, so that if you didn't get a chance to look at some of the fun things that are available, there's some wonderful tickets to Step Africa. There's some yoga classes given by yours truly, and some wonderful wine and other, South African, beautiful blankets. So check out to see if there's something that might interest you there. But again, we deeply appreciate all the support that St. Andrews has provided. And I invite everyone to become involved when the youth come next year. It's a uplifting experience and just fun. It's fun for everyone. It makes January bright and cheerful. So thank you again.
I second Connie's advice that we all participate next year when the brunch returns alive. It is a wonderful, wonderful afternoon and time together. I also want to join Connie in thanking all of our speakers, as well as the Bokamoso Breakfast Planning Committee that really recognize the importance of celebrating this 20-year partnership, even if we had to do it virtually, that it was still very important to commemorate the importance of this alliance together. But most of all, we as a team would like to thank the St. Andrews community of family and friends, and especially the former Bokamoso host families that have attended this morning for sharing your Saturday with us. We know it's a busy time of year. So we hope you have enjoyed learning more about Bokamoso and are inspired to support this collaboration now, today, but also in the future. And we are going to conclude the program with a 3-minute video. So thank you again and enjoy the rest of your day. Queuing up the video, we did have one question about what the parent community could do to help advocate for students to get here next year. That's certainly something the Bokamoso Youth Foundation will start to work on. As we conclude this program, it was a visa issue. And as some of you may know, that staffing changes over time. And so they're going to be putting in every effort to try to make sure we do everything on our end to allow the students to return next year. I don't know if Connie would like to add anything in addition to that.
Oh. I did answer it in the chat, but I will elaborate a little bit while you're queuing up the video. We are currently working with Jamie Raskin's office and Senator Kane's office in Virginia, because he's actually on the immigration committee, to find out first why they were denied the visas, because it didn't make any sense, basically. And once we have that answer, once they've done some investigations for us, either figuring out what documentation we need to provide them as they go forward. We did provide a lot of documentation, but perhaps there was something we were missing from the packet, or to change how we ask them to come over. And perhaps as a foundation, we will need to become an official sponsor of some sort.
Stars
Thank you all again for joining us this morning. And again, as Connie and Jennifer mentioned, we hope you will visit the Bokamoso link and enter into the giveaway before the end of the day or make a donation at any time. And we will look forward to having you join us next year for the Bokamoso brunch. Thank you. Have a great weekend.